Welcome to Subramani. In the series on the investment mistakes or learnings that I have had, is that innovation is not something which is good for investors. We all get carried away when we see some innovations, and the combination of seeing innovation and combined with our short termism, it's a disastrous combination. So let us go back to history. Sometime in the late 1700s or early 1800s, there was a railroad boom. So every company wanted to create its own railroad and all that, and they found that people were not willing to pay. Similarly, a little later, maybe late 1800s and early 1900s, there was a automobile boom. There was some 100 odd companies manufacturing automobiles. Then they realized that today, out of them, only two or three have survived. Many other companies, like a Tesla, have been born much later. They had nothing to do with the automobile boom of the 1900s, right? So those companies which started then, only two have survived out of 100. The probability of you getting that right is almost impossible. It is noise. 2 out of 100 is absolute noise, right? So the problem with innovation is when the innovation happens, we take that innovation, we take and for 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, 1 year, and then extrapolate for the next 30, 40 years. Same thing happened in India, same thing happened all over the world. People who laid the networks for connecting on internet also found that people were not willing to pay. Then India had other substantial problems, because of which I mean, the Supreme Court intervened and things like that happened, and therefore we found that the so-called innovators did not make money. So when innovation happens, you have to be very, very careful about. Like today, there's a huge craze about electric vehicle. We do not know how which companies will really make money in electric vehicles. So Maruti Suzuki has still not got into electric vehicles in a big way. And I have always have had healthy respect for companies with 50-60% market share. Tatas have got into electric vehicles, but you do not know which part of the Tata group will make money. Will it be Tata Elxsi? Will it be Tata TCS? Will it be Tata Motors? Will it be Tata Power? Or will it be Tata Realty, which will set up all the charging stations? We don't know what things will happen and who will actually end up making money. When you follow a model and you are sticking to it, you miss out some of those innovations and the impact it can have. For example, I can have a very good model saying how much will be the earnings of Asian Paints if the if the oil is 120 a barrel, if it is 80 a barrel, if it is 100 a barrel. I would be perfectly right. But if I miss the mega trend that today more houses and offices are getting built with glass and steel, so they may not use paints at all, then I may be, if I could be missing that because I'm using a model or because I'm ignoring that innovation. So I'm not saying innovation is bad. I'm saying innovation is good. We are all using innovation. I mean, I can get reasonably good quality video out with really no investments, except a selfie stick and a mic, which creates a lot of problems for me. But yes, innovation as an investor combined with short-termism doesn't work. Look at what happened in the where in the 1900s we had electricity, we had automobile, we had all that coming in a big way, and that led to the we obviously get overconfident, we keep buying everything, we think, oh, everything will do well. Then that led to the 1929 crash. Similarly, we saw the dot-com boom and the dot-com bust. So similarly, when COVID happened, we saw that companies like Zoom and Netflix and Amazon Prime did well. So we took those numbers and we have projected next 10 years, this is what will happen. Everybody will work from home. Every meeting will be a Zoom meeting. Everybody will watch everything on Netflix. Then then you have somebody who comes and says, I will not do an OTT release. I will do only a theater release. So then if you want to watch that movie, you have to go to the theater. We had in our great wisdom written off theatre, saying nobody will go back to the theatre. I still find mutual fund companies, asset management companies, who say, oh, the day of the physical meeting is gone. And I recently did a physical meeting which was very well attended because people were bored sitting at home. So about 200 odd people attended an event, right? So people do attend, people are changing. So we can't take innovation and then say, oh, this has happened in the last 1 month, so next 360 months, this is what is going to happen. It is our ability to not be able to see the impact of innovation, right? So, impact of innovation is of course good. All development happens because of innovation. It's not that bad. But understanding how innovation should be applied while investing is not very easy. You may have to substantially change. You may have to say, oh God, Asian Paints will not do well because too many buildings are being built with glass and steel. But if I've held it for the last 20, 30 years, I refuse to look at new things which are happening, saying, oh, innovation is not that bad, right? We did not expect that innovation will kill the bookshop and the record shop so quickly. We all thought, oh, slowly things will happen, but people still like to love and touch and feel a book, so they will come to a bookshop and buy. People still are nostalgic, so they will buy the record player or the cassette or the video cassette, or they will take the data in a pen drive, so they will come and take it from you. But everything has been crushed by innovation, right? So earlier you could make a record. For those who do not understand this, there's something called a long playing record, which would play for 30 minutes, I think, on both sides, or I'm not very sure about the timing. It had 16, 78, 33, 45, various speeds at which it would play, and various amount of music that it held. Now, if you bought a record with 12 songs, maybe only 7 songs you liked or 8 songs you liked, and the other 4 songs were already thrown and you could not do anything. Then you could, afterwards, it happened that you could download the music, and you could take it in your pen drive, or you could buy DVDs or CDs which would carry a lot of music, right? So it was considered to be fantastic. That I have one CD which has got 7 hours of Mohammed Rafi singing, but today I can get 10 hours of Mohammed Rafi singing just because it is downloaded. And people would say, no, this downloading will not work because the speeds are not good. Today's speeds are good, so downloading is working. So how technology changes, it's easy to get carried away and say, this is how music will be. But I'm sure music will change even further, that you will be able to, you may be able to buy one song at a time, which you are currently able to do, and you may put together, let's say, a song like Lag Ja Gale. For people who are not familiar, Lag Ja Gale is a very famous song by Madan Mohan and Lata Mangeshkar combination, and but it has been attempted by very many people, including Shreya Ghoshal, and men, women, everybody has attempted singing that song. So you might want to put all the Lag Ja Gale attempts into one CD, right? So that is something which you could, or into one file for yourself, because we don't no longer need to write CD. So these kind of innovations happen, and they substantially change how people will look at things, right? So don't use innovation as an investment, because you're taking a short term thing and projecting over long term. You do not know who will survive. You know that Jio will survive as a service provider, but within Jio, I mean, using Jio, it's like saying, because Tata Power is giving the electricity, I have to buy the television from Tata Power, or I have to buy the washing machine from Tata Power. That's not true. Somebody is providing you with a service, they don't have good quality content, you will buy content from somebody else. So you do not know what will work. And if the content is got premium and content has got value, then the person who is supplying the net connectivity, that will not matter. So who gives you electricity in your house does not matter. If you are very happy with a Samsung washing machine, you will buy a Samsung washing machine. It has got nothing to do with Samsung is not supplying electricity to your house. So similarly, these kind of things will happen. So you do not know who in the value chain will make money. So be sure that some dismantling will happen, but dismantling also doesn't happen very quickly, very fast. It does happen, it does crush thing, but as an investor, play safe. Another worry about innovation is it destroys businesses much faster than it builds. So will your Kirana wala will be destroyed? I don't know, but a Kirana wala is definitely under threat when the big organizations come. But I still buy a lot of things from my Kirana wala, because I know he's one guy who's unfailingly supplied material to me during COVID or non-COVID times. Even today, if I want one loaf of bread or one packet of milk, I know he will deliver it. So I may stick to my grocer for certain things, and I may go to the Reliance and DMarts of the world for certain other things. You do not know what impact it can have. But as an investor, I would suggest that you stay away. You stay away with portfolios. Let the fund manager decide in which innovative company he wants to invest a small portion of his money. Making money from innovative companies and using innovation is not going to be easy. Also, because even assuming that you had Google or Facebook or Tesla right from the beginning, would you have had the ability to stomach so much of violence in its share prices, right? I wouldn't just call it standard deviation, it is huge violence. Would you be able to sit through all that and still make money? I really have my doubts whether many of us have the stomach to make money. Maybe we have the brain, but we may not have the stomach. And ultimately, to make money, you need good brain and a good stomach. That combination is necessary. Thank you.